For anyone who's played Tarkov for any amount of time knows that handling guns in Tarkov is pretty complicated. There are a lot of hotkeys and it can become confusing, especially for beginner players. But also as a long-time player, it's easy to become complacent in the hotkeys you have, and you can actually set them up in a far more ergonomic way to be able to do multiple actions with your gun at the same time. So stick around and hopefully this guide helps you improve your gun handling. So unlike a lot of games, Tarkov has no ability to check your mag simply with a counter in the side. So to do something like this, you're going to start off with Alt-T. Now you can set this up so that you can have this set to just one key. For some people, they set it up to, the other people that I know, is double T. And there's certain ways that you can set this up to make it more ergonomic. But we're just going to quickly run you over this super quickly. Now when you check a mag, it is actually based off the mag that you have. Now, not a lot of people know this, but there's other mags that have different modifiers that actually change a few things about how quickly you check the mag as well. Now, not only does it check the load unload modifier, in other words, to put bullets into and take bullets out of these mags, it takes longer, but also either pluses or minuses the check speed modifier. This next tip is something that even experienced players seem to overlook, and it's the ability to choose what magazine you want. Now simply if you were to press R each time, your character is going to bring in the nearest largest size magazine. So this is going to go from the 60 rounder over towards the 95 rounder and so on and so forth. But I actually have multiple mags in my vest here. Now, aside from the fact that if you were to do something like double R, which is what I have my speed reload set to, he'll do a faster reload where he tosses the magazine on the ground. Specific mag reload. So if you're simply to hold down the R key and then scroll up or down, you can choose which magazine you want to reload in. And this is pretty important, especially if you have a mag that you know is full of good ammo and the other one's not, and you're trying to fight scavs. So if, as an example, hold down R, scroll, it'll highlight the one you want and then let go. And it'll simply just put the mag in. Another little quick tip is when you're trying to check your fire rate, you don't simply have to walk around pressing your fire rate key. Now for me, I've set this up to a mouse key because I change fire rate a fair bit, is if you press Alt and B at the same time, you can check your fire rate. There's also a silent way that you can change your fire rate if you do Alt B and then change your fire rate by pressing the key to change your fire rate. For me, that is mouse 4. But if you go Alt B and then change your fire rate, it makes no noise. Now, I think they patch whether other people can hear that or not, but for yourself, it actually makes 0 sound. This next one actually got a recent update that makes it even easier to do, but it's folding a stock. Sometimes when you're looting and you've got an AK or any sort of gun that you want to make fit better in your stash, if you simply hover over the top of it and press middle mouse key, it'll actually start the folding animation. And you can also unfold it by hovering over and pressing the middle mouse key again. However, there's a keybind to do this as well, which is now Alt-L. Now, Alt-L actually instantly does the exact same action that I showed earlier. However, if the gun is within your bag, Alt-L is not going to help you. So like I said, just simply hover over the gun and middle mouse. One of the most important skills you can learn is also the ability to camp between your different scopes. Now, as you can see, I have the Leupold hammer here, and you can actually look through the main reticle, and then holding control while right-clicking at the same time allows you to use the optic on top. Now, this helps for when you're up close and personal and you need to get shots off on people. But I want you guys to understand also at the same time, when you run toggle aim, this makes it a lot easier because you can camp between your two sights much more fluidly, in my opinion. Also at the same time, we're going to have a quick conversation about toggling between reticles. It's the same thing. If you hold down Alt and right click, especially if you are a toggle aim, you can just basically go between your 6 times on your Valday and also your 1 times. And at the same time, because of the sensitivity issues, I would always run a canted PK06. And this allows you to also do that with the control. So you can actually use both. You can use the 6 times for those long range shots, and then bring it up close and personal. You can use the PK06. For some of you out there, you may actually have your ADS key set to a separate key than you have your hold breath. But sometimes having the two together allows you to streamline the process so that you can look down sight accurately and quickly with one click of the mouse, and all of a sudden you have steady aim. Although this will tax your stamina a fair bit, I find that this is a far more efficient way to do it. So to do what I showed, to look down sight and also hold your breath with the same key, I'm just going to quickly show you how I do that. The first thing you want to do is go over towards aim in your controls tab, and you make sure you have your aim set the right mouse button, and I have mine on release. What this means is I have toggle aim. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, yuck, but I'm going to teach you why and how that's a good thing. In Tarkov specifically, the only game where I run toggle aim. As you can see down below, we've also got a switch scopes key, and we've also got change magnification. Now I have this set to left alt and right mouse button as press. Now what this allows me to do is it allows me to aim and then toggle between my different reticles. Let's say I had a 1-6 between 6 and 1 without having to un-ADS, and that's why toggle's good. But if we make our way all the way down towards the bottom, we're going to find hold breath. Now in the right hand column, I've got this set as right mouse button on continuous. So what this means is if I was to go into my hideout and I was to bring out a weapon, and let's say I'm going to use this HK here, what I want to teach you guys is the moment I look down sight, it's going to be zoomed in, but you can see it's already coming steady. Now what I can do is I can switch between the two whenever I feel like, and I can zoom in without having to un-ADS. But the entire time, my scope is steadied. And this just allows me to make quick adjustments on the fly. It allows me to quickly aim. It also allows me to basically just hold my breath in a more ergonomic, steady way. And I would always recommend toggle aim in Tarkov. Unfortunately, the way the keybinds and switching between candid scopes and everything, it makes more sense to toggle in this game to me. Another little handy tip about gun control or gun handling is lasers, and also tactical devices in general, including flashlights. The perfect way to toggle these between all their different modes is Control T. Now every time I press Control T, you can see that my laser goes into a different location and then sometimes disappears. But that's what makes some of these infrared lasers so good, is it allows you to run it in the infrared spectrum. As you can see, when I press up against the wall, you can see what some people call the red flashlight. Now, not a lot of you can see that, but you see that ring that's pushed up against the piping there. And it is also a known fact that spraying while using a tactical laser actually gives more accuracy. Now, if you're firing from the hip, this is correct. As you can see, I'm going to quickly do some quick tests here. Avoiding natural sway in your gun and everything like that. I know there's a few different factors here, but I'm just going to quickly shoot and show you. Okay, ready? As you can see, the spread is pretty wild. But if I stand back to around about the same spot, then take 2 steps to the right, turn the laser on, despite popular opinion, there's actually a tighter spray there. As you can see, that a lot of it's down the bottom and then it works its way up. Whereas over on this end, it's way more grouped. And I can whether you killed someone, you're not sure whether their gun has a chambered round, or you're unsure whether they're using bad ammo, you can simply check your chamber by doing Shift T. Now, as you can see, there's nothing in this 5.7, but until I checked it, it would come up with a question mark here in the chamber. So when I was to drag a bullet into the round, and let's say I grab a 5.7 off someone else, and I want to know what's in the chamber, the only reason I would know is because I've already checked the chamber and dragged the bullet in myself. There's also a little bit of a bonus here when you dechamber a round. There's a pretty cool animation that you can do. Hey guys, so that's it for this gun mastery video. If this helped you in any single way, learn some keybinds, or prove how you handle guns, and just taught you absolutely anything at all, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. As always, I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. The link will be in the description down below, and thank you so much for watching.